America's 52 Stories, with life lessons for personal growth.
George Willard. Against the wishes of his parents, he joined the Union Army at the age of 18. His remarkable military family included generals in the Revolutionary War and in the War of 1812. As a superior soldier, he was often promoted, and by 1861, he was the captain of his own regiment. Before Gettysburg, he was made a colonel of a New York volunteer group. Military standards of failure could exact a cruel judgment against an officer in spite of his best efforts to avoid it. If captured, he brought shame upon himself until he could prove competency and bravery in battle. 10 months earlier, Willard and his men were so inexperienced that they were captured at Harper's Ferry by Mississippi and South Carolina forces. After his release in a prisoner exchange, his senior officers were scrutinizing his every move. His men were derided with the epithet, the Harper's Ferry Brigade. Spending 7 months on leave at an army camp, his men were drilled daily in preparation for reclaiming their honor. He was going to make real soldiers of these novices or die trying. On the second day, with one of many gaps that had opened in the Union line, Union General Alexander Hayes gave Willard his last order.
Take your brigade over there and knock the hell out of the Rebs.
It did not go unnoticed that his men were well drilled. With no support, Willard's men went forward to carry out their orders and win back their reputation. It was all or nothing. With the summer sun pushing temperatures to 90 degrees, Willard's soldiers went forward hungry, fatigued, but unwavering. One of his men later recalled,
Colonel Willard lined us up as if we were on parade instead of under a storm of missiles from mini balls and bursting shells.
Soon, his line was being broken by a group of retreating Union soldiers, perhaps unnerving his own men who needed to prove themselves. With hearts pounding rapidly and bladders expelling their contents, they marched directly toward an oncoming enemy, shouting, "Remember Harper's Ferry!" Willard drove the Confederates into retreat with enough time to recapture some Union artillery pieces. An incredible irony was making its appearance. The retreating Confederates under General Barksdale were the same forces that captured Willard and his men at Harper's Ferry 10 months earlier. With Barksdale mortally wounded in this latest engagement, the action of Willard's men and their leader quickly erased any suspicions of their courage. Their redemption had finally arrived, but Willard's fate was short-lived. On his way back to the rear, he was killed by a shell fragment that tore away the front half of his head. Allow failure to harden your resolve. Failure is success turned inside out. You can turn failure into success just as Willard did. Allow failure to influence you to be better prepared, knowing what not to do next time. Willard's story demonstrates that what counts is not what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you. Your most empowering freedom is your ability to choose your attitude, an energizing influence that leads you to better outcomes. Emphasize training, not just education. Willard spent a great deal of time drilling his men in a competency that was needed to achieve results. Training how to hold, carry, load, and shoot a rifle was more important than knowing the history, mechanics, and purpose of rifles. The influence of training, not education, won the fight. Right now, every student has the right to be thinking. What do I do with this information? Let's start by asking these questions, and you can provide your own answer.
Thank you for watching this video. Please help keep these videos free. Either make a tax-deductible donation or get this guidebook.